So, you want to know what it really takes to become a master plumber or a pipe fitter? Well, today we're going to break down the core agreement for the Northern Mechanical and Iron Range Apprenticeship. And trust me, this isn't just some boring old handbook. It's basically a blueprint for a career that can set you up for life. Right from the jump, the stakes are made incredibly clear. This is not your typical school program. You are, from day one, an investment. Just look at this. Every single journeyman and journeywoman in the union is literally contributing a piece of their paycheck to fund your education. That creates a pretty serious bond of responsibility from the get-go. Okay, so how does this whole bargain actually work? We're going to walk through the 6 core pillars that hold this thing together. The massive opportunity, the safety net that's there to catch you, the rules of the game you got to play by, the long path to becoming a true master, the professional standards you'll be expected to live by, and finally, the big payoff, a career for life. Let's kick things off with pillar number 1, the life-changing opportunity. At its heart, this is all about understanding the commitment, and it's not a one-way street. This is a serious two-way deal. The program commits everything to making you successful, and in return, it demands your absolute 100% dedication to excellence. Now, what's really interesting is that before the program asks a single thing of you, it lays down pillar number 2, your safety and support. They build this incredibly strong foundation, and the message is clear. Your well-being comes first. Because, without that, success is pretty much impossible. And believe me, this is not just talk. The support system they have in place is legit. We're talking mandatory safety gear, strict accident reporting, a completely zero-tolerance drug and alcohol policy to keep everyone safe. They even have confidential counseling services for when life throws you a curveball outside of work. From handling disputes to emergency situations, there's a clear plan. Bottom line is, they've got your back. Okay, so with that foundation of support firmly in place, now we pivot to pillar 3, the rules of the game. This is your side of the bargain, the accountability system. Because while the program is supportive, it is also tough, and it's all governed by a very, very clear set of rules. And at the core of that system is something called SEPS, the Self-Elimination Points System. Yeah, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Think of it like a running score, where every violation adds points to your name. And here's the real kicker. These points don't just vanish at the end of the year. Oh no, they stick with you for your entire apprenticeship. And this table right here shows you just how serious this is. This isn't about getting a slap on the wrist. A late report? That's 3 points. A single no-call no-show with your employer? Bam, 5 points, and you're automatically going before the committee. But look at the big ones. Failing a class or quitting a job can hit you with 10 or 15 points. These aren't just small mistakes. These are the kinds of actions that can put your entire future in the program on the line. Which brings us to this number, 30. If you rack up 30 points at any time during your 5-year apprenticeship, that's it. Your agreement can be canceled. The message could not be more clear. Accountability isn't just encouraged, it's everything. All right, so you get the rules. Now for pillar number 4, the journey itself. This is the path to mastery, and I'm going to tell you it is not for the faint of heart. It is built on a mind-boggling amount of work, both out on the job and in the classroom. Just let that number sink in for a second. 9,000 hours. That is the minimum time you will spend on the job, learning from pros who've been doing this for decades, turning all that theory into actual practice. This is where the real work gets down. But it's not all about just getting your hands dirty. You also have to master the why. That means putting in at least another 1,000 hours in the classroom and in training labs, studying everything from complex schematics to state codes. So you add all that up, and you are looking at a 5-year commitment. This isn't some quick weekend course or a coding boot camp. This is a deep, long-term dive into a highly skilled professional trade. It is a marathon, not a sprint. And at the end of that 5-year marathon, it's not even enough to have just put in the time. The final step is proving you've got the skills. You have to pass some seriously tough state and industry exams to earn your license and certifications. That is the ultimate test of mastery. Okay, so you've followed the rules, you've put in your 10,000 hours, but becoming a master isn't just about what you can do with your hands. And that brings us to pillar 5, the professional standard. This is where you move beyond just following rules and start living by a true professional code. This is what the United Association calls its standard for excellence, and it's the absolute bedrock of the union's reputation. And the principles are actually really simple, but they're incredibly powerful. Show up on time, ready to go. Be productive, be respectful. In other words, be the kind of professional that everyone wants on their job site. And woven right into that code is an unbreakable standard for safety. Now, the key here is that it's proactive. It's not just about you avoiding an injury. It's about actively caring for the safety of the person working right next to you. It means having the guts to speak up when something isn't right and the integrity to never, ever take a shortcut. This turns safety from just a rule into a shared personal value. And this quote, which comes from the Apprentice's own code of ethics, it just sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. Your success isn't left up to luck. It's forged directly by your choices, your work ethic, and your actions, day in and day out. And that brings us to our final pillar. After 5 years of intense work, of study, of upholding the highest possible standards, what's the big payoff for all that commitment? And here it is. This is the end of the bargain. You earn the respected title of journeyman, a mark of a true pro. And with that title comes continuous job placement through the union, which means a stable, well-paid career right up until the day you decide to retire. That is the promise. So there you have it. The opportunity, the support, the rules, the work, and the reward. The entire bargain laid out from start to finish. The only thing left is the one question every single potential apprentice has to answer for themselves. Are you ready to build your future?